Hey guys, welcome to another episode of East Coast Rams podcast. I'm your co-host Ashton here with an awesome guest surprise co-host here, Ian at Rams Up. Man, that was some game, interesting game, wild ride. How are you doing, Ian? How are you feeling? Are you over the game, or are you still kind of going through the feelings?
You know, I think when you see a team lose in person, it just stings a lot more. Now, if you're watching on television, which I know a majority of people are, it sucks equally as bad. But I think you spend your money, go to the game, buy a bunch of beer, spend money on that, have some friendly shit talk with other fans, Niners, other people. Nothing personal, sports crap talk. You know what I mean? And when you're all invested in that, and then to see your team choke big time on national television, which obviously the world is watching, I still feel mad and irritated. As I've watched some film since then too, which made me even more irritated, Ashton, and mad.
Yeah, a lot of missed opportunities, a lot of just
Yeah, dude.
shooting yourself in the foot. This is one of those games where you definitely feel like the Rams lost this game,
Yeah.
even when they didn't deserve to win it, if that makes sense. And we'll kind of get into that. If you
Yeah.
guys are watching us live, please like and subscribe. And if you want to share your comments about what was your biggest surprise of this game positively, and biggest negative surprise, and kind of let us know your comments there. But first, going into the offense, in the 49ers end up beating the Rams in overtime 26-23.
Yeah.
If you told me that score, I would have beforehand said, well, it sounds like Stafford kind of struggled a little bit. He didn't have a bad game, but he didn't have a
Yeah.
great game. No, Ian, that isn't what happened at all. Stafford ends the game with 389 yards. You
Sheesh.
end up, he has 47 attempts, 30 completions. And in fairness to Stafford, he was dealing the ball. There were a lot of drops this game. Uh,
Yeah.
I at a certain point in, I was like, stop throwing to the running backs. Let's just stop. It's not working. It is just, and that was before Corum's fumble, and we can kind of talk about specific players later. What's your initial reaction to this Rams offense that was putting up numbers, and it was moving pretty easily on the defense up and down the field? It just other things happened.
Yeah. After watching some film and digesting it even in person. Shout out to all you guys I met yesterday, tailgate, etc. I was with Jake Ellenbogen and his NFC West crew, roundtable crew, and we're all having food, shooting the shit, and having a good time there. So seeing it in person, what I saw is just the lack of, what's the word I want to say? Just readiness, right? It was noticeable
Mm.
in the stands watching the team. Now, okay, that's one layer to it for that first half. I'll stick with the half. Then in that second half, you saw everything turn on, right? And then we'd have the thrilling end where it's back and forth and we're all holding our breath. Okay, but after watching some film action, I mean, geez, the freaking wheeze, man. Just
Mm.
people aren't blocking as well. And look, at Warren McClendon wasn't horrible, but he's borderline. Sometimes you wonder if he deserves snaps. It was better this game than in years past where he's played and it's been a disaster. But even Coleman Shelton, meh. Kevin Dotson hasn't looked good all year. And then, Steve Avila's active, but is he benched for Justin Dedich right now? Dedich isn't being bad either. And then Alec Jackson's being, he's a lockdown left tackle, let's be real. But even his capabilities in the run game, I just thought everyone wasn't ready to play. And the problem is there would be these drives where you'll move the ball, even if it's just chunk here, chunk there, Nakua out route, Devontae curl route, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the problem is that I've had this entire season, and we still have many, many months of games to go. Trust me. But it's just way too wide receiver reliant. Yes, is Nakua an MVP level player? Absolutely. Is Devontae still a Pro Bowl level player? Absolutely. Is Stafford at an MVP level right now? I think so. So I get the the momentum that McVay wants to carry with that group of three. But the problem is, my goodness, man, tight ends are non-existent. Running backs are just unreliable right now in the passing game. And even our third wide receivers is once in a blue moon targets. Just all the play calling through these first 5 weeks, and no different last night with the 49er game. Everything is either Puka first read or Devontae first read. Everyone else is second, third, fourth option. And it's like, hey, we need to feature more guys. And that's why I think we get into these holes like that first half, Ashton. This is not sustainable. And now things turn on at second half of the games because adjustments happen. McVay, Stafford get together and they say, oh, we can attack this, attack that. But this is just a theme that has been going on since McVay's been the coach. And outside of the 2017 and 2018 number one ranked offenses, 2019 was still good, but up and down. And then from 2020 onward, there's just too many people that run this version of the West Coast offense, the McVay version of the West Coast offense. Think about it, Ashton, everyone tuning in. So we have our group here in LA. We have the Niners running a version of the Shanahan West Coast, obviously a little bit different, but the roots are the same. You have LaFleur with Green Bay. You have the Atlanta Falcons running it. You had the Seattle Seahawks running it currently. You have, who else am I blanking on? You have Jacksonville now. You have, my goodness, I
would say Tampa Bay still is.
My point is, yeah, I mean, it's half the league. Let's just be real about it. And again, we'll spare everybody the time of naming all the teams, but that's a large amount of defenses that are used to this version of offense. Again, everyone has their flavor. McVay's very pass happy. LaFleur is more balanced, and then everyone's got their niche. But the rules, the principles, the scheme, you don't think Robert Saleh and this 49ers defense ain't used to seeing this and used to defending it because it's so common, especially when your good buddy, your head coach, runs a version of it. I just think that's another issue on top of everything else. That has to be more diverse. There has to be more creativity, which is why we get these first halves that suck. Sheesh.
Yeah, I almost feel like a lot, especially in recent years, the first half of games, it's almost like McVay is like, it feels like he's holding back to see what the defense is trying to do. And he's just like experimenting until things get either so bad or defense starts buckling. He's like, okay, I have to open up the playbook now, and we have to fully try. I know some of that is also the players, the execution in the first halves, especially first quarters in the last 3 years, have been atrocious. And I always tell people, I'm like, we're a second half team and you need to get at least 10 points on us at half to feel like you have a good chance going into third and fourth quarter. Because apparently especially the offense decided like, oh, we're going to show up to work now in the third and fourth quarter. And that's when things started really escalating, or you could say the last drive of the first half with this offense.
But let me say this, Ashton. I'll give the backside or the flip side of the coin, at least with this Niner game in the first half. And we'll talk about defense, but they just didn't have a lot of opportunities. Now, obviously, the Kyren had the walk-in wide open touchdown that finally got us on the board. And it's like, okay, everyone, things aren't disastrous. But they didn't get as many opportunities as we should. But the problem is, even with those limited opportunities, they still don't play their best anyway, which made it a double whammy in that first half. So it's
I feel like a lot. We said this coming into this year, especially on this podcast, that this roster is uber talented. We had so many people claimed off of waivers, a lot of depth. The second level depth right now of the team is not executing to the level that you would expect, even of like second level execution, right? When you're talking about Clendon at right tackle, like that execution still isn't good enough. He's the main reason Corum fumbled that ball. Corum is also a part of that, but he fumbled that because the instant pressure that McClendon just gave up.
Right.
So I would say the only two people who are second level players that are executing very well what would be the second level wide receivers. Tutu has been solid when he's been called upon. Like he
Yeah.
basically almost won us this game too.
I know, it's
If
crazy.
we actually converted on fourth. And then you want to talk about Whittingham, which they kept on saying that Whittington, but
What's up with
Whittingham
that,
on the
by the way? A
announcer.
lot of
I don't
announcers always
know.
get
It's
that
not
wrong.
that
It's crazy.
hard.
I
It's
know,
not
dude.
that hard, to be honest.
Al Michaels
But
is an old stubborn
Whittington,
guy, so he's not going to change. But
yeah. But Whittington also has been good when called upon, and it is crazy to me that outside of those guys on this offense, everyone else on the second level is just kind of felt. Higbee has disappeared at points. Parkinson had one chance to make a I really think if that was Ferguson, he could have caught that for a
ugh,
touchdown in the end
my
zone.
God, I know, dude.
So I get Parkinson has been solid in the blocking. I just don't think it's worth it compared to just a lack of returns when it comes in the receiving game with him on the field. I really do think Higbee and or not Parkinson, but Higbee and the rookie should be the two out there on offense at every
Yeah,
time. You saw that with that catch. So hopefully he can get sped up or McVay can get over what hesitation he has. Me and you can't see the practices, so we don't fully know the story if he would be
yeah, of
disaster
course.
or not. But how worse could he be than what we're getting on the field product wise? Can't be much
I
worse,
know
right?
it's yeah, man. It's the to my point. There's just too many people that run a version of this offense in the entire NFL, so there has to be more complex nature to it. I mean, this has been an issue of mine. I've hammered the table on my show every week. It feels like until people are like, "Hey, you need to." We get it. The lack of screen passes to tight ends and running backs is absurdly ridiculous. We never call them. Did they even call any this last game? Off the top of my head, I don't even think so. Just even watching film, a tight end or a running back screen. No, if I had to just guess off the top
Yeah,
of my
yeah,
head.
yeah. Not a direct. You kind of had a pseudo slip screen sometimes. The Kyron, that kind of where he
Yeah,
leaks out, and they kind of
that's true. And
set
again,
up
those are more like check down swing
loose.
routes. I'm talking like
Yeah,
full on lineman out in front, lead
no,
blocking.
no.
Never running back screens, tight end screens. You hardly ever see it. You hardly ever see any other unique run play. Now, I will say this last week and the week before, I saw a little more differentiating run game stuff. So, real quick, everyone, you have your zone scheme run plays and you have your gap scheme run plays. Zone is, long story short, lineman blocking to an area, and the running back's got to read it and find a lane and get yardage. Gap means we're running to a specific area in between you, and we're going to open up a hole and we're hitting that exact spot. We have been doing such a poor job running a lot of different gap stuff. And yes, duo was a big, shebang when Mike LaFleur came over in 2023, and we were good at it. Not that we still don't do it, but it's like, my goodness, everyone. There is counter. There is GT counter, which is a gazillion different ways to run those two. Power, G power. There's sweeps, buck sweeps. I mean, I can go on and on and on. I won't bore everybody on that. But the point is, our run game has now dissolved to inside zone, outside zone, duo. Probably like 3 different ways I've seen duo be run this season alone, and that's pretty much it. It is absurd how basic this running game is. And again,
I mean, they did
I,
try
and I
toss,
get people's points of like, oh, you want everything to mirror and look the same, but whoop-de freaking do if everything is simplistic. And yes, maybe sometimes Puka will lead block, or a tight end like Davis Allen will wham block, where they'll clear somebody out like that. But okay, it's still the same duo run play. It's still the same inside or outside zone. There's just not enough creativity. Run game, pass game, screens, not enough exotic. Why not more receiver handoffs, jet sweeps out of the shotgun? How about end arounds, where it's like you fake the run and then you do like a little reverse toss, kind of like we saw Tua do in the last primetime game? Stuff like that. We have talented guys that can run. You don't think Tutu would be fantastic on those? Get him 3 or 4 carries like that a game, or even Puka. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. So it's always bothered me, and I just think McVay so desperately wanted a quarterback that could just be, I'm better than you. I understand what you're doing on defense. I got the arm, and he got that, right? Toss aside Jared, and Stafford's the one of the best drop back guys ever. And that's great. He balled out. But at a certain point, can we help out the 37, 38-year-old quarterback and have some more creativity on offense? And I think if we do all that, it will help out these first half lulls, no matter who we play. But it's just drop back. I mean, think about this too, Ashton. We run the ball sometimes out of the shotgun, but I'd say 80, 85% of the time, we're in shotgun. It's 5-step, 7-step drop and let Matthew Stafford cook. Cool, but dang, there's so much more that can be done to keep a defense off balance. And I think that has a big part of why we get into these lulls and why it was no different in this Niner game, at least in that first half. It's irritating.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand that. Like the very few times they do something weird or do something different, it like I almost feel like we can't execute trick plays for some reason. Like our coaching, like anytime we try, it blows up. Like
That's
even
yeah.
when we tried to do that toss to Corum, that was like something different. We don't normally do like running back tosses, and he just like looked like he wasn't expecting it whenever the
Yeah.
pressure came in. So talking about the running backs, let's kind of touch our toes in that hot water,
Yeah.
and probably the most divisive, or let's say hotly debated topic
No, that's
on
both
Rams.
phrases are right.
Yeah. On Rams Twitter, because Twitter or X loves not being completely chaotic.
I know.
Kyron Williams, where do you land on him in general coming into the season? And where do you land on him now when you talk about performance, what you're willing to deal with, good, bad, elite, all that stuff?
I've been a Kyron defender for
Okay.
just what he means to this offense. Because we are not complex in terms of play selections, he is valuable in pass blocking. I mean, he's good. There's not even a debate. And look
Yeah,
at real
yeah,
quick.
he's elite in pass blocking.
Yeah, and look at for all the
Elite.
PFF guys that are grading, or anyone who really enjoys PFF and player grades. Look, enjoy whatever you like, but take those grades with a grain of salt, right? They're just one version of grading or valuing someone. Kyron Williams' pass blocking is elite, to your point, and PFF grades him low for whatever reason all the time. I'm like, how could you watch the film and think that? So, okay, just wanted to shout that out because I think that's ridiculous. Pass
Yeah,
blocking is
that's a
elite.
fair point.
Yeah, pass blocking is elite, no matter what PFF says. My God. So, okay, that's valuable to what we want to do. Drop back pass all the time and let Matthew Stafford cook. So that's valuable. Okay. Then here comes the stuff which I think he is not utilized enough in. He was a good screen running back at the University of Notre Dame in college. Now, he got 2
Hmm.
touchdown passes
Hmm.
today. Probably should have had, uh, another big third down catch that he just dropped. That was bad. But he can run routes. He can find the space. And for him to be never used in the screen game is ridiculous. Ridiculous. I think that's a skill set that is not unlocked, which is foolish of the McVay coaching staff for them to not get that figured out with him. So that's something they don't utilize with him enough. And I think running between the tackles, I think he could do it. Now with a loaded box, like the 4th down play call, it wasn't blocked good at all anyway. Can he run through a guy and get a yard? I've seen it. The film don't lie. He can do it. But when there's a giant pile, do you expect him to be Christian Okoye, the
He's not
Nigerian,
Derrick Henry.
the huge ass son of a gun from the Kansas City Chiefs in the 90s and just bulldoze people? Is he going to
Yeah, yeah.
be, any
He's not
old school
Steven
quarterback?
Jackson. He's not Derrick Henry. He's not
Yeah.
going to run over 2 or 3 guys.
Like, let's be real. If we had, okay, shout out Steven, but Steven Jackson is a Hall of Fame level player who is ridiculous. Jerome Bettis as well. Those guys have that knack to just, no matter if there's a giant pile, they'll still get the way through. Kyron's a smaller guy, but he's powerful, but he's not that type of guy. So, with all that said, can he run the ball? Absolutely. Is it perfect against stacked boxes? No, he's just a smaller frame guy. That doesn't make sense. Can he catch? I think so, but he dropped one. Of course, people would argue that he can't now. Get it. Screen game not utilized enough. It would be good. Pass blocking's elite. He's a good football player. And then Ashton, even to last season where everyone was hurt, he was the constant force, getting positive yardage, scoring touchdowns. And I know a lot of people say anyone could do it. And I'm sure there's a lot of guys that could do it. No crap. It's the NFL. There's a lot of guys that could probably produce. But the point is, I think everyone acts like he's some bum or he can't play. It's ridiculous. Absolutely false. Now, with all that said, this dude has a fumbling problem, and anyone who argues it's not an issue is out of their mind. Let's just be honest. He had an issue his first year starting where it happened in that Cardinal game a couple of times, and then he hurt his ankle, and then he was out, and he came back and played good. Last year was an issue in big games, and then here we are not even halfway through the season, and there's already been catastrophic fumbles that have happened with him.
And near misses. I think he's had 2 recovered by our own offense, too.
It's bad, Ashton. It's bad. And once a fumbler, always a fumbler, a wise man once said. And I'm worried about it. I'm worried about it, man.
So I'll put this away. I'm the closest. Zach would say I'm more negative about him, but I really am the closest you can come to in the middle when it comes to Kyron. Yeah. I think he's a really good running back that's not explosive and is elite in the red zone, right? Like those two things can exist at the same time, and is weird in that kind of way. But his ball security is atrocious. So the fact that like the amount of times he has fumbled because he only has one arm and not the second one shielding, it is just mind-boggling. And the fact that this keeps on happening, like you said, he led the league in fumbles last year, and he had a few not even recovered last year, and the same thing this year right now. And that's why he's such a hard player to talk about, because there are people who want to ignore that.
Yeah, it's
but you also have people who just want to smear and say he's like trash. He's not trash. He has really good elements. I don't think personally he can be a full-on lead back if he continues with these ball security issues.
Absolutely, I agree.
Opinion. I really think he should get benched for this game. And this is what I said to Zach. It was like last game, I understand necessarily it wasn't his fault for a fumble, but you are a guy who has a fumbling issue, known fumbling issue. You need to be taking extra caution. It's kind of like when you go into work and you are spilling water on your keyboards and your boss is like, hey man, stop that. You're going to be extra cautious with water. And if you do that again, you're going to have worse ramifications for your actions. And at a certain point, like, we have to be like, this guy needs to learn to stop fumbling, and he has to have actual consequences for his actions. Yeah. And it sucks. I like him as a person. I don't think he's a bad player, but at a certain point, it's going to keep on costing us games. And frankly, like, I think Corum has had up and down season. I feel like he hasn't had as many opportunities as Kyron, but he's done good downhill running wise.
Yeah.
It was just that fumble, he can't catch. So I don't know why they keep on trying to have him catch.
I know. But it's a real weird spot.
Downhill, he's actually played really good. He's had some really bad blocking moments by the line too. So I don't think Corum is the answer, and like we shouldn't excuse. If I was the coaching staff, I think we should put Hunter in as RB1 next game. To be honest, you sit those guys on the bench, you have them watch, and rotate them in probably in the third and fourth quarter. Like, we can't just keep on having this happen and just everyone ignore it and just we're going to lose more games.
I know, Ash. It's complicated. It's complicated because it's complicated. Not necessarily as like, do you like Kyron or not? It's who else do you trust out there to block for Matthew Stafford and pass protect? I think that's really just the main thing of it all. because we drop back pass gazillion times a game, which I get it, let Matthew Stafford cook MVP season right now. Who else blocks well enough to hold up with a line that's not playing up to their capabilities? And we got backups in every week now. Does Corum that guy just for that? No. Is Jarquez Hunter? Probably not. So it's like, who else could even just protect your biggest asset, protect the player where if he doesn't play, everything's going to crap? And that's Kyren. That's the guy who's got to be in there to pass protect at the running back spot. So I know your point of like bench him, but because we circle this back here, because we don't run enough creative plays, it's not like, oh, Stafford's not going to be in a bunch of 7-step drops or he's going to have to read the field for quite some time to make an elite throw. Because of that, Kyren's the guy to stay in there to help pass protect. And it's complicated, I know.
I would honestly like do a mix of having Hunter in the backfield and having Puka in the backfield.
I know, but
I'm
McVay can never. He can never have Nakua stay home. He's got to go out there and run routes. But I mean, I agree. Why not have Nakua in the backfield, run stuff out of the back? I mean, it's just the creativity is just not good enough, and because of that, Kyren is needed to help pass protect in these 5-7 step long developing passing plays. And look at everyone is like, we ride with 23, all the players, and respect. That's your teammate. Kyren's a good dude. We all know that. He cares a bunch. I mean, he said, like, the loss is on me. He knows. He's no dummy. And McVay, I think, he said after, he's like, yeah, I'm going to ride with Kyren. That's my, that's our guy. And we're just going to have to deal with it. He's going to be the guy. And there's plenty of times where he looks good. He runs good. He gets the touchdowns. He gets the short yardage. Yeah. But every big game, I'm going to be holding my breath. And let me say this, though. Kyren is, what's the word I want to say? He is aware that he has a fumbling problem, not just what he says in the post game or pressers. You'll see him more times than not double arm over the ball when there's a lot of people around. But the moments where it's muddy meaning, cluster of defenders all around, these certain times it'll be the one hand and then someone will peanut punch that thing out like Nate Landman. All the time. All his fumbles are basically the same thing. The moment where it's just one arm, right or left, don't even matter. For whatever reason, whether it's luck, bad luck, all of it probably mixed together, defenders are accurately smacking that football out, close fist boxer style, every time he fumbles. And again, 9 times out of 10, he's going 2 hands. And I'm like, good. But that 1 out of that 10 times, it's a fumble and we lose it, or we get lucky and maybe we recover it. So I'm going to hold my breath the rest of the season because he's going to be the guy. I mean, there's no other way around it. Corum is not good enough pass protection. And then Jarquez, he ain't ready with the playbook, probably, if I had to guess. We don't know officially. So it sucks. I mean, he even if he doesn't score on that 1st and goal, whatever run that was, I mean, we were going to score anyway. We'll probably hand it him again. I'll probably do some jet sweep to Nakua. We throw it in. Like we were going to win that game late in the 4th with how many seconds? 30, 20 seconds left.
There was a minute left.
A minute left, yeah. But I'm saying we would have ran it. They would have had no timeouts. It would have been done. It would have been done. So it's just woulda, coulda, shoulda. But every big game, I'm going to be holding my breath with him, Ashton. That's just the reality.
Well, I mean, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, too, because as you keep on fumbling, guys will keep on looking for those opportunities.
Absolutely.
And he has to be perfect, and I hold him to a higher standard every time this happens, because I'm like, you got to stop. Like, you can't keep on saying he's getting unlucky at a certain point, because he is leaving the opportunity open for him to get unlucky, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, if Corum does another 2 or 3 swing passes and he catches them and he doesn't have the same thing happen this game, then Corum was unlucky in this situation. And yeah, he should get a little bit of grace. I'm giving less and less grace every time this happens with Kyren Williams because it's happening more and more often. And it's costing us.
Let me say this too, Ashton, with running back and fumbling. For whatever reason, after the Todd Gurley era was over in 2019, I still am sad about that every now and then. Malcolm Brown was the main guy in 2020. He fumbled. Darrell Henderson, he was hurt a lot, but he would cough up the ball every now and then. Again, he didn't play a whole lot because he was banged up, but he was productive. I mean, he was a good receiver. At least we used him in the passing game more. But he fumbled. Cam Akers had a fumble issue, and then obviously other things behind the scenes, and he was battling coaches, and then they sent him away. But he had a fumbling problem.
It's
And now
because
here
all
we
these
are
guys
with
are smaller
Kyron Williams,
backs.
and now he has a fumbling problem, and now Blake Corum can't hold on to the damn ball. So for whatever reason, and we've changed running back coaches multiple
That
times
was a
since.
catching issue with Corum. In fairness, that was
No,
just he
not
couldn't
true.
catch it.
But now all of a sudden, then he can't hold on to a pitch, and it's like, geez Louise. Regardless of a lineman missed a block and someone was coming towards you, like you got to secure it. You get blown up, and it sucks. It's not on
He would have
you.
got blown up. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but still, I mean, he got deer in the headlights and he lost it, obviously. So my point is, we have 5 running backs, all with different O lines, different coordinators, and they all have had fumbling issues some way, somehow. For whatever reason, not saying McVay and them don't care about it, but my goodness, that is not just bad luck. That is not just a coincidence. This Rams organization on offense, whatever practice habits they have, fumbling is not emphasized enough. Malcolm Brown, one more time for you. Darrell Henderson, Cam Akers, Kyron Williams, and now we have Blake Corum dropping hand or not handoffs, but dropping pitches. I mean,
So
not good, Ashton.
let's also real quickly address, like, yes, for people who are more Kyron defenders, I know you're screaming like they hit his helmet. It should have been a penalty. I don't disagree with that assessment, but he still had only one arm on the ball. That's my issue with the situation. Not necessarily that he got unlucky, that if he had both arms on the ball at that time, he probably doesn't cough that up, or at least cough it up out of his arm to the right, like it's more underneath him. So, and to be honest, like, I thought it would have been better situational awareness to not go in the end zone. I get it. They're more coached to go in and get the TD and like force San Fran to go down the field. But given your history of fumbling, like, I just feel like it's a lack of situational awareness. That's a big thing in military, is like situational awareness, understanding your surroundings. And I feel like he gets a little too greedy for that extra yard and he loses focus. And that's what it comes down to.
To give any ball carrier out there, I get it. It's heat of the moment. Sometimes you're not even thinking, let's go 2 hands on it. I think when it's a bigger run and there's that moment to be like, hey, I got to go 2 hands, I see him do it. He does it. But I think in like those goal line situations, I think it's just get the hand off and let's slam this son of a gun in the end zone, right, and score, which is, that's where there's been problems. And I think in the heat of the moment, again, is he thinking 2 hands, 2 hands? Probably not, because you're not thinking anything. Let's get in that damn end zone. I see an alley, which it was there, right? Whether he was going to score or not, who knows? He's probably going to get tackled short, but it's tough. But he's going to have to change that mindset, though. He's going to have to be, all right, stack box, 2 hands, F it. Once I get free space, then I can 1 hand, stiff arm, point at people, shimmy, shake, celebrate, and all that's fine and dandy. But he's going to have to change his mentality. He's going to have to just go 2 hands so he breaks to the second level. That's just how it has to be now, which is unfortunate.
He has fumbled it 10 times in his career out of 43 games. He's averaging a fumble every 4 games.
I mean, it's terrible. I mean, that's terrible. That's a terrible stat. That is not good at all. So I'm going to be holding my breath every game. And, I believe in his talent. I do. I believe in
it's
what
always the big games where we don't need it.
It's
always the big games too.
But if you say
it is what it is.
I mean, gun to our heads, Ashton. I mean, if you say, is Kyron going to fumble in a big game again? Why should I say no? Probably, yeah. I mean, it's just the reality. Until we see a change, I'm going to assume that it's going to happen again, and I'm going to be upset. And that's just the truth.
Puka and Tay, their reaction kind of said it all. But let's quickly touch on Puka. Dog. He's amazing.
Yes.
And I can't believe there's some contingent of fans actually trying to say Puka is not good, and he's only getting these because he's getting volume. And no, you have the cause and effect backwards there. He's getting volume because he is so good.
Exactly.
His average yardage, his yak, it's just his ability to catch passes that normal human beings should not be able to catch. And he almost made 2 or 3 amazing catches in this game alone. It it just boggles my mind that some of these people are trying to come out there and like basically say he's Wandale Robinson is what I put
I
it.
know.
It's like
Get out
no,
of here.
he's not just getting
Ridiculous.
volume for volume's sake. He is that guy. That's why he's on pace to be like wide receiver, have one of the best wide receiver records of all time. He has the rookie wide receiver records of all time right now. So I don't see it. He passes the eye test for me as a Hall of Famer. I think he truly will end up being one, but I don't get how you can watch these games and just be like, nah, this guy isn't it.
Yeah, Ashton. I mean,
He's the reason.
everyone's just drinking a lot of haterade out there. It's ridiculous.
Haterade.
Now, do we
Yeah.
benefit from the scheme and him being moved around a ton? Of course. Oh, you know who else benefits from that? Justin Jefferson, Will O'Connell. Who else benefits from that? Jamar Chase. Oh, who else benefits from that? Maybe not AJ Brown. They don't do a good job there, actually. But majority of these top wide receivers, they're not just 1985 style line up on the outside and let's just go in goal balls and slants and outs and ins and that's it. It's the coach's duty to move a play around. I'll give McVay credit on that. We hammered him a little bit earlier about play design in terms of just diverse runs and passes and etc. But he is good at moving guys around, especially someone like Nakua. So maybe would he have as many catches and as many yardage with other teams? Of course not, because they're just not good enough to find ways to get him the ball. And we got an elite quarterback that's going to find him too. That matters a ton, obviously. But anyone out there that acts like Nakua is not a good receiver, or he's a scheme merchant or whatever other terms that are out there, that's a bunch of crock shit. He's one of the best route runners currently. He is one of the best yards after catch guys. You can argue he's number one. He is, no doubt about it,
He's
number
full
one
package.
best blocking wide receiver, not just blocking a corner out wide, line him up like a fullback, line him up like a tight end, have him block big boy D lineman every other run play. He's good at that. And then obviously his understanding of offense, toughness, grit, all that. I mean, how is he not top 5? How is he not a lot of people's number one just based on all that, not just catching the football? So ignore those dummies out there, Ashton, and everyone else.
Yeah, he really is. He could play tight end, wide receiver, or running
I mean, he
back
basically
in
does
the
for us
NFL.
right now.
And that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like he is all 3 of those positions at any time, at any point, and that's why he's such a good weapon. Now let's talk about the defense. Defense struggling against. I got to look up these wide receivers because I can't even remember names. Kendrick Bourne, he was on the Patriots. McCaffrey had 80 yards receiving. Jake Tungus, Demarcus Robinson, and Kyle Juszczyk. Ian, did you smell like a lot of burnt toast up in the stands? Because, man, we were getting cooked by the legend Kendrick Bourne.
It's crazy. Kendrick Bourne was on that Niner team that lost to the Chiefs back in 2019. It's crazy. He's been multiple places since, and now he's back and he's looking like Jerry Rice out there. Just unacceptable. My biggest issue is the scheme that we were running. We were just doing way too much cover 2, Tampa 2, and we did. I mean, look, I'll give Shula credit. This we are very diverse. We do a lot of different combo coverage. Everything is not just plain Jane like some other teams do. I mean, we get pretty serious and heavy duty. Oh man, this is disguise, or man, we're jumping to this. And this game didn't feel that way. A lot of cover 2, and not even cover 2 traditional where you have your corners closer to the line of scrimmage. They were playing like it was almost cover 3 where they had to be responsible deep, the corners, the outside guys. So I didn't understand that. And okay.
Yeah, so What did it seem that way when you were at the game? Because
Yeah, absolutely it did.
I kept on being like, why are we looking at Mac Jones as if we're facing prime Tom Brady
It's
with
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like Tom
absolutely.
Brady with Randy Moss. That
Yeah,
how
the
we were
game
defending
plan
in
and
the first
the
half.
play choices and all of it was just terrible, to be honest with you. To your point, we're not playing freaking Tampa Tom or Patriots Prime Tom or any other elite quarterback that can launch it over our heads.
Or
And obviously,
Jamar
there's
and
some,
Burrow, like, I
yeah,
get playing against Jamar and Burrow like that. They can launch it over deep, like, who on that team, you could say MVS, maybe, but even then, you could just shade a safety over to his side every time
and
instead of just having dedicated deep zones on everywhere.
it was just
It
I just couldn't believe the game plan. Again, a lot of cover two. Everyone out there, cover two means two people are responsible deep. Everyone else is underneath that. And all the underneath guys were playing far away from the wide receivers, which is why they were able to connect on those little 5 yard slant
Dinkin
there,
Dunks, yeah.
5 yard this. And then outside of that, to the corner play in general, they just didn't play well anyway. Which you could say maybe Shula was doing that to protect them deep, but they just obviously a lot of the yardage was shorter 10 plus or 10 or less, and there were some deeper curl comeback routes that they hit. Mac Jones hit a couple of times to our old friend Demarcus Robinson. Jeez Louise, of course. And I just thought the scheme, Shula had a bad day. And again, to everyone that was all, where's the pass rush? Why aren't they getting home? Well, if Mac Jones is
Oh,
getting,
they were rotating the pocket away
yeah,
from the pass rush.
and but
They were
that,
consistently moving.
but even then, Ashton, if the ball is getting released because the short game, the quick game, the short passing game's open every other play, why does Mac Jones have to hold on to it? Why is he going to take that risk? And then, of course, our pass rush will not get there. No ball. Where are they going to run to? Right. So it's a double whammy for that respect. And I know everyone's like, man, they didn't get a sack to overtime. And I get it. That ain't good. But when the passing game was so dang wide open short for them the whole game practically, no
That's
shit that
because they were
Jared Verse and
winning.
everyone didn't get home and have a bunch of crazy stats. Of course. So it was just a bad, terrible game plan, in my opinion. And either that's a lack of faith of the corners or Shula and the coaching staff just totally outthought themselves and try to, just outsmarted themselves. And it was ridiculous. Ridiculous, honestly.
I I have always said that on this podcast, I really do think McVay and a lot of teams that go against these possession teams that like to dink and dunk, you want to think about the 49ers, a
Yeah.
lot of Raven concepts will do
Yeah.
that, like these run heavy teams where they dink and dunk, quick pass game. You really want to get the ball first in the game. You want to get a lead and you want to force a little bit pressure because if they get a 3 and out, you get a lead and then you can get a double digit lead or you can get a 2 or 3 possession lead. That's when you put those systems under a lot of stress
Yeah.
because you put them in conflict with, like, they can take their time dinking dunking going down the field. Later in the game, when you have a lead, you kind of force their hand with the play calling, and it allows the defense be a little bit more manipulative of that system. So I don't understand why we keep on, when we win the coin toss, not letting them go, or letting our offense go first
I get
instead
it.
of
Look,
always deferring. I feel like that never works out for us. Most of the time we go 3 and out after half anyways.
I
And
I know.
right? Like, so you might as
Yeah.
well try to start off hot, and that's a separate issue, but you start off hot, you get 2 possessions, and eventually, like, I feel like it's a lot easier to snowball against these types of teams
Yeah, it
than
is.
other teams. Personally, like,
No,
that's just like a small nitpick.
it just depends. If I knew our offense would come out hot, then I would have no problem us accepting the ball first. But because they don't, I'm in favor of defense starting starting it out just based on how we perform and play calling, et cetera, et cetera. But it's all flavor of choice, right? Your offense balling out of control, then you're like, let's get this thing going. We'll take the ball first and we'll go. We ain't that. So I'm in favor of defense starting it out, Ashton. But I mean, it wouldn't bother me if we started doing that, and maybe that would be the kick in the ass the offensive group needs and McVay needs as a play caller. But to the defense's point there, I mean,
They got shredded, man. They
it's
got
just,
shredded by a bunch of practice squad players.
I mean, look it. Is DeMarcus Robinson, Kendrick Bourne, and Marquez Valdes-Scantling a bunch of scrubs? Absolutely not. They've all look at D-Rob was our only touchdown maker on offense other than Kyron last year for whatever reason. So we know he could play. Kendrick Bourne all of a sudden obviously exploded on us. That's embarrassing, but he's been an NFL player. Okay. Marquez Valdes-Scantling scored a touchdown on us last year with the Saints, so we know he can go deep on you still. But the point is to what you're saying is you got your third string backup guys. Ashton, no Brandon Ayuk, no Ricky Pearsall, who looks good this season, by the way. No Jawan Jennings, who smoked us in the past. No George Kittle, who kills us every game. An O-line with the 49ers who haven't run blocked well and have pass blocked so throughout the year. And then, McCaffrey, who's coming off multiple ligament issues. For all that to go our way and then for them to still get lit up in the passing game. What is the stat here as I look this up for Mac Jones? I have it. Yesterday was Mac Jones' second best passing day in the history of his career. His best performance was when he threw for 382 against the Vikings when, he was still playing for the Patriots. Yesterday was his next best performance ever as a pro. 342, touchdowns, passer rating over 100. Are you kidding me? Embarrassing, regardless of all those backup guys that are out there.
And Mac Jones isn't a terrible backup, but it really does, I think, come down to you had Shanahan very dedicated in his game plan, and he knows us well enough. I didn't expect this game, and I'm not saying I expected us to blow them out. I didn't. But we should have won this game by 10 points. And a lot of that is shooting ourselves in the foot on offense and on special teams. And I would say defense, first half was terrible, but second half was good. You forced 3 field goals. You did what you needed to win.
No, I don't disagree.
In my opinion, this loss isn't on defense. You forced field goals. They didn't help. They didn't actively contribute, I would say, enough to make it an overwhelming win where it should have been. But Nate Landman, he showed up. He was great. But outside of that, looking, I mean, Quinn Lake had a good game too, and Curl. But when your safety and your linebacker are the only people posting good stats on the box score, that's not great.
Everyone wasn't ready to go. The coaches got out coached. The coaches got out schemed. The players weren't ready to go. And I agree. Defense, it was not good. I still think the overall game plan wasn't good enough, and I'm not going to change my thoughts on that. Way too much soft, free, too much yardage giving up before the ball is snapped. Cover 2. That was dumb. But to your point, we survived it enough. And it's all about the offense, and that includes all that kicking PAT bullshit that still continues to be an issue.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Sean McVay in his presser, when asked about the kicking woes, basically said he wished it was only one spot or one element of the kicking line. He said pressure is coming from multiple places.
It's true.
Consistently. That's a horrifying statement, Ian. I've never. This is the second worst in Sean McVay's career, the special teams has been. And we have a good kicker, punter, and returner. Returner, you would say is average. X is average.
I like Xavier. He's got juice.
Yeah. Above average, right? Yeah. But we have a good punter, and our kicker is not bad. I really don't think our kicker is terrible. He's not perfect. I wouldn't say he's elite, but he's not bad. And when you have those 3 positions, good level players, and the special teams is still struggling this mightily, I mean, hey, let's just talk about Chase Blackburn. This guy had one of the most historically worst special teams units 2 years ago, and I'm surprised they kept them around. I would say we were like average last year, good but not great. What do you make of him, and what's going on? I have never seen a team struggle to block field goals this badly.
It's there's a lot of embarrassing things that happened yesterday, but the kicking has been an embarrassing issue the entire season thus far. To Sean McVay's point, the film doesn't lie. One game, let's be real about it. Rob Havenstein's getting his ass whooped against the Eagles, and also backups Bo Limmer, Justin Dietich. And then this game, it's the other side. You see Steve Avila, not blocking up. You see the center, he's just kind of standing around. And again, the center has that freedom to snap the ball downward, and he, a guy you can't hit or touch, or it's a penalty. So I get him not getting a lot of contact. Defenders are trying to avoid him. Totally get that. But I just think that, coupled with guys that should just hold up, and I understand the point, everyone, where defenders have the freedom to go and attack you, right? As offensive linemen, you're always reacting, right? It's a lot of reacting, a lot of pass plays. You can attack. Run game, you can attack. Pass protection, no different than PAT or field goals. You have to stay put and react to guys trying to come full force. I get it. It's a tough gig. Don't get me wrong. But for all these linemen, whether that's the normal offense and or this PAT field goal unit, they are just not playing up to their capabilities. Whether
They're
that's
atrocious.
Big Rob.
Let's just be honest. Atrocious.
Yeah. It's Big Rob,
it's
Havenstein, backups, everyone, Kevin. And I get it. A lot of these guys are dealing with ankle this, ankle that. They're backup players are in that wouldn't normally be in. I get all that. I get it. But damn, guys are not playing up to their capabilities on that O-line, whether it be the normal offense, 11-man style, or it would be huddle up PAT field goal style. So that's one issue, I think. Another is with kickers now all having super legs and kicking 50 plus like it's nothing like ever before, which is crazy, by the way. To trajectory, you need to get the ball. You have to start lower to get that power and momentum to go under the ball. So you're not just kicking high and it has no velocity on it. You're hitting it lower. It's going to start out lower, so it has more velocity to get higher up and still travel far. I think maybe even Cardi's got to change the way he's kicking, and that's not a good thing to say with a kicker who has a set in stone motion, step, all that stuff.
No, Cardi shouldn't have to adjust. That's a line issue, because you start adjusting that, he's going to have accuracy issues, and it won't be his. Like, I honestly think his accuracy issues this year will be 95% not his fault, because he's going to have to rush kicks. It's going to be a mental thing.
It is going to be mental, and there's no doubt about it. Like, the more block kicks that happen, the more mental it's going to be, where you're going to have the jitterbugs thinking, all right, well, is this one going to get blocked? And that could throw you off. But if the line keeps getting penetrated and there is immediate pressure where guys have a chance to swat it or get a hand on it, he's going to have to change the launch point of which he kicks it, because if every couple
they're going to have to trade for linemen.
I mean, that too, but I'm saying if that's not an option, things aren't going well still, he's going to have to change it somehow, some way, the launch point on it. And that's not good. I agree. But what else could be done? I mean, we're going to have to kick some field goals and PATs. We're not just going to go, Oklahoma 1960 style and never run a PAT. Just go score a touchdown, go for two, score a touchdown, go for two, go for 4th down. That's unrealistic. So it's a multitude of issues. But number one, everyone on that O-line, whether, again, PAT field goal or just the normal offense, no one is playing up to their capabilities other than maybe Alaric Jackson, honestly.
And he's the only one who was out of camp the entire time with blood clots. That's it's wild. And I feel like it's the same song and dance the last 3 years. It's like our line can't stay healthy, and by some miracle, both those years they got healthy, and like nothing happened after the bye. Like, do we have to do this every year now? Like, what's going on? What's in the water down in Inglewood to be causing a lot of these O-line injuries? It's just
Yeah, it's just when you get into live action, right? And the piles start building up in the run game and ankles and people get rolled up on. I get it, man. It's brutal in the trenches there, dude. It's a nonstop battle to just to hold your ground or to take over someone else's ground. And ankles get rolled up on, right? Steve's dealing with the ankle. Kevin dealt with an ankle. Rob missed this game because of an ankle. So, those ligaments for big boys up front, man, like it's tricky and it sucks. But no excuse, though. There's no excuse, at least for the PAT
next man
field goal
up is
stuff.
supposed to be the thing.
Yeah,
It's
it's embarrassing.
but
It's just embarrassing. So, okay, to your Chase Blackburn point, because I want to just talk about that field goal and get that off my chest. To Blackburn and his coordinating right now, I think he's a smart guy. I think when he talks about the intricacies of kicking and all that, I think he knows info. I think he knows what he's talking about. Now, can you rally guys? Can you coach guys up? I don't know. I mean, we're not around the practices. Who knows on that? But one thing that we do know is that Sean McVay will bail on coordinators that he thinks aren't good enough, especially on special teams. We've cycled through feels like a decent amount since Coach Fossil left, which what a shock once he leaves and everything gets all jacked up the last handful of years, Coach Bones. So
we
we
should
know
have let him go.
yeah, it's who knows what the hell happened with that bunch of ridiculousness. So
Drama.
yeah, probably. So we know McVay, if things don't go any better in the positive direction, Blackburn probably will be sent away. He will be fired or let go, whatever the proper term is. So everyone's protected and doesn't sound all bad. We know McVay will do it, but how much does Blackburn know to fix all these issues? I don't know, man. I don't know. Can he get old linemen to block better? I don't know if it's just all like technique, which technique's a big part of it, but if they just can't hold up right now and they're just underperforming with their physical ability, how much can you do? So we're in a complicated spot right now, man. We are.
Yeah. So to summarize it, or like kind of go through, like, do you think there are alarm bells to you about, like, I'm assuming you're very much like us. I've heard you say this on your podcast, like, we're a Super Bowl contending team. Do you still agree with that statement? Or like, what's your level of alarm, I'll state, when you're talking about the rest of the season and our aspirations? Because our Super Bowl's open. We have the MVP right now in Stafford. Stafford's playing at an MVP level. Like,
Yeah.
is it still there for you?
No, I mean red alarm, fire alarm, ring the giant bell in the middle of the village, alert all the townspeople, alert all the Rams fans. We got issues. Now, as of today, is this a Super Bowl team? Hell no. What have we seen in 5 games makes you think that they can beat any team and win it? A lot of things, but then there's the equal bad that could make them lose against any team just as much, right? So they have the capability to do it, but I think these things need to happen.
The clutch gene in it, our ability to find ways to lose these games, is what kind of jumps out to me. That's what I would
Develop
put.
a clutch gene. Yep.
Yeah, this team so far has lost every one of its games. The other teams haven't won, in my opinion. Yeah,
I
you've
agree.
gotten beat up in halves, like the second half of the Eagles game and the first half of the 49ers game. But every other time, you were in control at the end and should have won both of those games.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
So clutch gene is one. It's an important
mhm.
one. We got players that have it. Matthew Stafford, thank you. And then I just think the play calling, the play design, the game planning, they just need an overhaul of how they get it together with that. And I'm speaking more to offense. This is probably the first one. Chris Shula had a really terrible plan. But again, they played way better in the second half. They kept you alive. So we'll take that, right? The positive. But again, better play calling, red zone, more play diversity. Everything just shouldn't be on Matthew Stafford's shoulders
What?
as a 37, 38-year-old. That, and then I do think use those first round picks and get players to put you over the top, because the roster currently is, I don't know if whether it be our corners, our O-line, the way they've been up and down, I don't know if they'll be good enough to win multiple playoff games as of today and go on a quote unquote Super Bowl run. Could that change? Could they improve? Absolutely. Could everyone heal up and magically get their act together? Of course. But that's my main thing. Play calling, game planning has to be overhauled and looked at by the coaching staff, and they have to be honest with themselves. And then use those picks, F them picks. Let's get some players, whether it be secondary, line, whatever is necessary to put this team over the top, and then I'll feel much better about it. But as the team is currently constructed, can they win the Super Bowl? I think so. Are they going to do it the way they're acting right now, coaches and players? Hell no. But we're only 5 games in. We have many months of fun and stress to go. So we'll see what happens. But red alarm as of today, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. There's a lot of issues they got to clean up if they want to make a playoff run, because playoff teams are going to take advantage, and that's what's happened. Every time we made a mistake, the other team is taking advantage. So, like, and just one quick note, I'll actually defend. I think our red zone was actually amazing this game. We just kept on handing it away to the other team when we got there. On the
Yes,
times we didn't score touchdowns, right? Like,
yeah.
We only had 2 times where we kind of got stopped in the red zone and we decided for field goals, one miss, and made the other one.
To that point with the red zone, Ashton, so like this game better, but the problem is it's just way too inconsistent. It has been an issue for a gazillion years, it feels like now, maybe like 4 seasons, but that's a long time in football years, everyone, as we all know, where, again, the creativity, everything is just drop back Stafford or inside run here, a jet sweep there. Like, you're never on your edge of your seat guessing, oh, what are they going to call? You look at other teams around the NFL, even crappier teams, you're like, oh, I like that play design. That was clever. Oh, you got them fooled on that. When is the last time you've ever really thought that about a Rams red zone touchdown where you're like, oh, damn, that was clever. Oh, they got them guessing and they got them screwed up, or wow, that was a real unique run play, or whatever. Not many times. Now you can argue, that slant to Nakua, that was interesting. That was creative. But that's every once in a while. That's my problem and my point. That needs to improve because we never know what we're going to get. Who knows? We play Baltimore this week. They've been Swiss cheese on defense, but of course, all of a sudden they're probably going to play good against us because they know their season's on the line with the winner.
They're going to be desperate, man.
Absolutely,
they're going to be desperate.
Who knows? This game better, to your point, but the inconsistencies, excuse me. Yeah. Who knows, man? That's my issue. And without all those things getting better, no Super Bowl happening this year. But can they do it? Absolutely. But
you don't like watching on 2nd and 13 a running back trap and then a little tight end screen? It's like clockwork, man.
Oh, well, a tight end screen would be nice. I would like to see that every once in a while, truthfully. But again, when Stafford's playing at MVP level, I know it's hard to veer off him when he's seeing the field and making all the throws and letting him cook. I get it, but damn, look at all the other offenses around the league, Sean, and coaching staff on offense. You too, LaFleur. You have a lot of say in game planning. Let's get other people involved. Protect the backups in an O-line. And my goodness, the more people get involved, the harder we are to defend, and the more defenses are scared of. Right now, they're only scared of 3 guys, the quarterback and the 2 wide receivers, Stafford, Nakua, Adams. Everyone else is irrelevant for the most part, most of the time. But we'll see, man. We'll see. We got to win in Baltimore this week, or we're in trouble.
Yeah, definitely don't want to go down to 500. Well, Ian, I want to thank you again, once again, for doing this show. It was a pleasure, even if the game was not as much of a pleasure. Do you want to go ahead and shout out your stuff? Kind of open space here for you to You do a lot of awesome things, and just kind of put that out there.
Thank you, thank you. Well, thanks for having me, Ashton. I was, when you asked me earlier in the week, I was like, well, win or lose, I'll be there. Don't worry, I won't bail if I'm in a bad mood with the game. So I was gonna show my face regardless. I promised you that. So thanks for having me, man. It's always good to talk ball. It's always good, man. We're all Rams maniacs here. Win, lose, or draw. I'll show my
We love
face
the pain. We
and
love the
and and
pain and
soak it. Yep,
the
soak
heart
it in.
attack.
The pain or the pleasure, I'll enjoy it all. It is what it is. But yeah, for everyone out there, I'm a part of the Rams Up Podcast Network. You can look up Rams Up Podcast on YouTube. You should be able to find our channel. You can find me on Twitter X, Rams_Up_Ian, if you want to see me tweet stats, other opinions, and argue with Niner fans and troll them for fun every once in a while. And do film breakdowns, weekly analysis of the draft. It's me, it's Mark. We have other guests that pop on as well. So, if you want to react with us for post game, we're here every week. You want to react to us and see film analysis and enjoy that, I definitely crank that out, which I'll drop later tonight as well with the Niner game. If you want to, chat with Mark pregame with his pregame pulse episodes, we got that for you. And then we also have our roundtables with some other members that join us on Saturdays. And then the big boy keys to victory. If you want to get nitty gritty with your opponents, learn them, the stats, their schemes, who should we look out for, their best players, the history between, let's say this upcoming week, Rams, Ravens, and how that's gone down in recent years. We got all the fun stuff for you. So Rams Up Podcast, YouTube, or Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast goods. We're everywhere. Tune in. And man, support the Rams community, whether it be here at the East Coast, us. Shout out to Jake. Shout out to the Rams brothers. Shout out to our small community. We're not 50 podcaster deep like maybe the Bears, the Packers, the Raiders. We got a small, fun community, and we appreciate all the support. And I'm sure you feel the same way too, Ashton.
Oh no, it's people don't realize it's a lot more than just clicking record, and like there's a lot of work and love that goes into it. Like, and we're people, we're fallible, like we make mistakes and stuff, but we try our hardest because we love the team and we just love talking about it. So I definitely agree with you there. I was at the Ravens game in 2021 and I got to see OBJ catch that game-winning touchdown.
That was a crazy game too.
Yeah, crazy game to watch in person. A really, really nice fan. So I would recommend anyone, if they can, go to that Baltimore game. Is that at Baltimore? I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Baltimore. It is. Yeah.
Yeah. Really nice stadium and really good churros, surprisingly enough. But real quickly, have you done your Sellers scouting yet? Because I'm a big USC guy, and I'm interested to see what other Rams fans think of him, because I've been saying this for 2 years, way before he was on everyone else's radar, and he's the best QB I've seen from USC ever.
Lenore Sellers, I mean, the talent is there, but I just think he needs more development. Pretty much every top prospect that everyone said was going to be legit, I think none of them the Rams should draft as of today. Now, could they all, same the guard team, could they kick it in gear and start playing better football, at least to Lenore's point, or even in the other top draft picks? People always ask my opinion about them too. Truthfully, I think the only quarterback that would be worth it as of today is the Oregon quarterback, Dante Moore. You see the clutch. They run a very similar offense to us. So to your question with Lenoris, he's got the arm, no doubt about it. He's got the mobility that Les Snead secretly, not so secretly, talks about all the time now when people ask about the cheat code, he calls it, right, with a running quarterback that can get the cheat code yardage. Lenore,
he's a cheat code.
He's got the talent. He's got the arm, but he's just too inconsistent right now. And again, is that a product of play calling? Is that a product of South Carolina and the talent around him? I'm sure all of that's a part of it, just like any other coach, quarterback, offensive scheme, pros, high school, college, of course. But as of today, drafting him high, no way. That's just way, way too risky. Now, can he
I think he'll probably go in the second round now.
Oh, look at it. I'm
he's
all
worth
game.
A second round pick.
I'm all game second and later. No doubt about it. Now, he'll probably go first just based on his raw talent, which totally get it. But anyone that's an Arch Manning truther, no way. Anyone that's a Cade Klubnik, no way right now. Lenore Sellers with a top 10 pick right now for me, No freaking way. Garrett Nussmeier, who is, the son of, I think, one of the coordinators for the Saints. No way right now for me either. Who else? Oh, Drew Aller, give me a break. No way right now. He's got raw talent too, but no way. So all the
But
guys, I
I
just
I
can't
would
right now. I
only
can't.
I would only caveat is all those other guys are the level of talent around them on their rosters is significantly better. And this is one of the worst supporting cast that South Carolina has put around Sellers than
Yeah.
any other QB, which is ironic. Like 2 or 3 years ago, I would say they had elite defense and they also had really good wide receivers. They
Yeah.
had a good O line. They just didn't have the QB, and now it's like all kind of reversed
Oh,
itself.
reverse
So
out.
he's not in a great situation, but he's still producing, and his decision making is iffy. But we can talk about that later.
Yeah. Again,
It's
I gotta
off.
wait for the season to be done, and then I'll definitely dive into everyone, after I guess after free agency is over, then I'll really start diving in with draft stuff, and
Mhm.
especially the quarterbacks. And again, if they make big bowl games or they make the playoff tournament, that'll just be, good test for all these guys in Lenoris as well. Again, he's in the SEC. To your point of him being on a lesser team than most at the moment right now for Gamecock standards. We'll see what happens, but I have my eye on him for sure. Like, he's got a lot of unique, special qualities to him. But as of today, draft him in round one. I couldn't do it, Ashton. I couldn't do it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, that about does it for this week's of the East Coast Rams podcast. Thank you all for the support. You can find us on all major platforms, Twitter and X, Instagram and Threads at East Coast Rams podcast. You can find us on all the big podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple, and you can find us on here on YouTube too if you want to comment live and join the conversation. My Twitter handle is ramfanashton1 and Ian's is ramsup_Ian. Big shout out to Ian for being here today with us. It was a lot of fun. Reminder for everyone, subscribe and like if you enjoyed this so we can keep on sharing the Rams love. So hopefully we can go and get it done against the Ravens. Unfortunately, we got to wait 8 days to kind of get this bad taste out of our mouths.
Yeah.
But, the Ravens going to be also a little hobbled. So if we lose to two hobbled teams back to back, Ian, that's going to be rough. It's going to be rough, but
don't put that in the universe right now. All right. Don't say that. It will be rough.
Yeah.
I agree though. All jokes aside, I will be in a state of, if I said red alarm earlier, I guess red, atomic red. How about that? We're going nuclear if we lose to the Ravens.
Yeah. Well, guys, hope everyone has a good week and horns